So we're going to go ahead and start taking questions from the audience at this point. Question 1, how are the relative mapping roles of state and surveys and USGS determined?
Okay, this is John Yelich. We have two programs, a state program and a coalition program, that's the Great Lakes. The state program is where we have all of the, if you will, societal interests in the state put together, and we have an active state map committee that identifies the roles, and that's where we identify where the state map's going. The Geologic Coalition is a derivative, excuse me, of the state map, and it's looking at how we can better understand the Great Lakes geology, and that's where the coalition activities work together, where we try and work so that we have a win-win, either where we have associated boundaries or we have similar conditions. Harvey?
Well, I would add to that the partnership between state geological surveys and USGS varies across the country. We have a good coordination and communication between AASG, the Association of American State Geologists that represents state geological surveys, and the USGS. So the arrangements are good and they're variable. And in some states, USGS plays the lead role. In others, there is a well-established geological mapping program by the State Geological Survey. But from my perspective, I would outline that ideally the State Geological Survey is very well positioned with good support from their arrangements in the state, and are closely linked to the issues and applications in the state, and they're able to maintain a geological mapping program at 1 to 24,000 to 1 to 100,000 that is closely linked to the partnerships and issues in the state. And state geological surveys are, in that context, very happy to partner with the USGS, for example, through arrangements such as the Great Lakes Coalition, where we have a regional group of states working together to share expertise, to share insights. And at the same time, speaking more broadly, ideally the Federal Geological Survey tends to their role in mapping the nation as a whole. The Federal Survey can maintain specialized expertise and technology that can be brought to cooperation with the state. And also, there are certain topics that the State Geological Survey cannot reasonably be anticipated to tend to, and those issues are dealt with by USGS. So in summary, a variable relationship that's well coordinated to the circumstances of each state.
The next question, do you have any estimate of the economic contribution of geologic mapping to your state? And do you get any funding directly from counties, or is it all from the coalition and state legislature?
Yeah, this is Dick Berg. I can answer probably both of these questions. Kentucky was actually the first state to be completely mapped, and we did a benefit cost study. Illinois did a benefit cost study of their mapping program, which showed a return of about $25 to $39 for every federal and state dollar that was spent. In Illinois specifically, we have not had that kind of an estimate. There have been estimates for the state of Nevada. There's been the USGS has done a benefit cost study, as has the country of Spain in their geological mapping program. But the benefits far outweigh the costs. And the second question, do you get any funding directly from counties? Well, from Harvey's perspective, yeah, they get a lot of support from the counties, from their state legislature. In Illinois here, if we go back 25 years of support from the USGS and support from our state, it's about 50-50. And we get probably, if you go back those 25 years, probably 20 to 25% from support from counties. Counties traditionally don't have a whole lot of money, but we do have some wealthy counties around the Chicago metro area, and they do contribute. And when they do, we're pretty much telling them that they are providing funds to increase the or to shorten the time with which we produce the maps. That's how the funds are generally used.
There was also an economic study that was done by consultants for the state of Ohio, and their annual return is somewhere over $500 million a year. That is a benefit to the state itself for the geologic mapping that's been done for the state. Matt, let me address the second one about funding directly from counties. In Michigan, we have not. We've been trying to do that, and of course the legislature in the state of Michigan has not done it, but this is where other states, such as Harvey has pointed out, where the state contribution, particularly in a very focused, if you will, societal program, can benefit everybody. And this is where other states are looking to go so that they can get more focused and get data to the people that are needing it right now today.
Okay, so I think we have time for one more question. And this is kind of a broad one, but it's good for all of you. How interested and involved have the communities been in your survey's projects, either in geologic mapping, groundwater studies, and so on? And do you have any tips for communicating with the communities that you've learned from these experiences?
This is one for Jason.
Yeah. McHenry County is just in that case study I was discussing we finished that project back in 2013, and we've been continually communicating with them as shown through those examples. And just last month I was up there with the county staff, and we presented those types of data along with other professionals, and had a big groundwater summit, as they called it, with over almost 200 attendees of the communities and municipalities. So it just kind of depends on the awareness and the I guess getting into the second question, tips for communicating is consistency, I'd say. Consistently get involved with those communities and consistently communicate with them what you've been doing. And it seems to be working for our case study fairly effectively.
Yeah, and the worst thing you can do is just drop off maps and say, see you later. So we kind of have almost a maintenance agreement with these counties that, you know, that we continue to service the work that we've done. And that goes to even counties that we did 20 and 30 years ago, that we still serve those counties.
And every one of our surveys has an outreach program of some kind so that the information is available. And I might, if I could add there was a question in there about education to support. Basic geologic courses are important, but what we're finding out is that learning how to display the information, ArcGIS or something, can help you at least both get into college as well as get a job. And all those things really help. And the last thing is working with other universities and institutions in the state is that come in and talk to us about how we can put a grant together to go out and pitch to get some money from people to go ahead and do a research study. Those are the things that help stimulate the interest, whether it's small, local, or it's regional.
And just getting back to the counties, and Harvey can attest to this as well, when this information is available at the county level, it becomes part of the county culture. So when there's a land use decision, they pull out a map or they go to the computer, the information's readily at hand, yay or nay on a particular land use. They've got the information at their fingertips. They don't have to then get the information again. And it just becomes part of the way of doing their everyday business. And that certainly is the case in Kentucky, and it certainly is the case in the counties where we've done mapping.
And this is Harvey in Minnesota. I can add to what has been said already by saying that maintain a high level of interaction with water well drillers across the state. We attend the water well meetings. We have a close partnership with the state DNR, the health department, other state agencies. A crucial meeting for us is the Minnesota Groundwater Association meeting held twice a year. So we maintain close relationships with those groups. And in terms of the county role, when the County Atlas program was initiated in the 80s here, there was a very significant financial role by the counties, and that has continued in varying form, including county funding of Atlas updates, and we've adapted that arrangement to ensure that it's achievable in every county, so that now the principal county role is doing the water well locating, where beyond just a legal survey polygon, we get the actual location of the water well to a few meters or better. And we've established an awareness, whether the person is a geologist or not. They know that a county atlas is a crucial package of information products that is highly beneficial to drinking water protection and other applications. So we maintain our status map. Counties know if they have an atlas or don't. If their neighboring counties have atlases and they don't, they're more likely to get on board and partner with us. So we have that strong level, a high level of awareness amongst the counties, such that we only go ahead with a county atlas if we have the full support of the county, and this is watched closely at the legislature, where the principal funding is arranged in relation to those drinking water protection goals.
Okay. Well, thank you all so much. We've already gone over time, so that's all of our questions for today's webinar. If you have any questions that were not addressed today, you can email them to us at cipinfo@americangeosciences.org, and we'll make sure to send your questions along to the speakers. We will be posting today's recorded webinar on our Critical Issues webinar page soon. You can visit the website to view this webinar as well as the previous ones and check out the webinar schedule for upcoming webinars. So thank you so much to Richard, Harvey, Jason, and John for speaking today. This concludes our webinar for today. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you at our next one.